All right, if I had a site in front of me and literally no budget to work with, this is what I would do. So pay attention. It's not a very fancy or clever method just because it's usually already sitting there untouched. Most sites that have been around for a bit aren't dead. They've got pages getting seen, they're just not quite there, mostly on page 2. You'll open Search Console and see the same thing over and over. Average position 10 to 20. So close, but yet so far. And that's where people go, all right, I need to write more content or change everything or even start again. But most of the time, you really don't. There's usually one simple thing that hasn't been done properly yet. In a sec, I'll switch over and show you exactly what I mean on a real example, what I look for first and what I change before I touch anything else. If you've ever had a page that feels like it should be doing better, this will click. Let's have a look. We're now inside Google and I'm going to show you the important thing you need to be doing to increase the ranking of your articles and blog posts. We're going to get them from page 2 and 3 to page 1 very easily. The query that I've chosen to search for is when to service your air conditioner. And I've chosen this because it's an extremely important keyword and query for HVAC and air conditioning businesses. It's quite further down the funnel because if you're searching for this, you are essentially inquiring about getting a service. Most people don't get their air conditioner serviced every 2 years. They get it maybe once every 5 to 10 years. So when they realize that actually you're supposed to get it once a year or once every 2 years at the most, they go into a panic and they book whoever they find first or whoever solves the answer adequately enough for them. So you need to be higher up in the search results so you can get all that traffic. So here we can see in the search engine results page, the AI overview. When I searched for this before, it was actually Google Ads. So Google is deciding on the fly what happens here and what you see first. We can see here, this is pulling its data from Mitsubishi Electric, which is the first organic search result. But above that is ads. So they're really pushing the AI overview. They want to get people, they want to answer questions for people. And they've got ads above as well. And then we've got organic, discussions and forums. So they're going to Reddit and Quora. And then the organic again, which includes some Reddit and a bunch of other air conditioning companies. Let's go to page 2. I am going to find it, but it looks like the site that I was going to use is now not on this page. So I'm guessing it is on page 3. And there it is. It is on page 3. Cool Air to Rug. I'm going to click into that. Now, what is the big thing that I've been hinting at? It is internal linking. Yes, it's not the pretty stuff. It is the basics, internal linking. Now, this is a pretty simple article here. Costs and recommended service frequency. And we're not going to get into what this article needs to do to better rank in terms of its content, the actual writing. But if we look through here, can we see any links? No, is the answer, the short answer. We can't really see anything. We can see this, which is an unrelated link. And we're not bashing this air conditioning company here, but really they can be doing a lot more and getting a lot more business for their company if they follow what's going to be spoken about in this video. Now we can see these links here, but we don't count these. These are other just related posts. So if we go from the top, we're going to go through and add in the internal links that are going to essentially get this from page 2 and 3 to page 1. Now, why internal linking? Well, there are 2 main reasons for internal linking. Now, the first one is to pass on page rank from your authoritative websites. Your authoritative pages. There are pages on your site that are more prominent, get more traffic, have more links to them. Maybe you don't have a single link on your site. Either way, your more prominent pages on your site should be linking to this page and vice versa. The reason is because Google uses authority from links and tells them that is a higher and more, I guess, important page for them. It tells them that we can trust this site and we're going to and the page and we're going to push them further up the rankings. So we need to get as many links to this page as possible. Now we're going to show you in this article where we can do that. The second reason is because of dwell time and engagement time on your site. Now, if you've got an article and someone spends a lot of time and reads through it, maybe takes an action, like submitting a form, scrolling, all these different things like viewing more pages on your site and spending just overall more time on your site, it tells Google that you are a relevant and I guess authoritative page and website for that topic, therefore pushing you up. If people spend more time and they don't bounce quickly, well, Google's going to push it up the ranking. So those are the main two reasons: passing page rank and dwell time and engagement time on your site. We're trying to reduce bounce rate here, guys. So let's go through air conditioner service costs and recommended service. They've repeated the title, not necessary, but either way, if you're an owner of an air conditioning unit, you'll need to have it serviced sooner or later. Fortunately, as a resident of the Traralgon region area, you can actually use a link here. If they do have a specific location, like something like Gippsland, it's in Gippsland, which is the overall region of that Traralgon's in, you can link there. So I would link, they should have location pages and link to that. Cool Air has you covered in that department with affordable rates and top quality service. I honestly think you can add in here to a service page. We need a link to our money pages. So if we can slightly change this, top quality air conditioning service, and put a link there. We've even got some tidbits from Insight for AC owners. That could even be a link to an overall guide, possibly. How often should you service your air conditioner? Great. They've put this kind of towards the top. You could even answer it here. However, they've answered in the next section. And if they answer the question well enough here, they can get the business, right? Once a year, this is where you probably want to link to your air conditioning service. I would honestly like them to split this out into split system air conditioner service, evaporative air conditioning service, ducted air conditioning service. They haven't done this here, as you can see, but that adds 3 new links to those specific ones. And let me see, they do have a page for ducted reverse cycle. Yep, they've got one for split system, repairs and maintenance, and they've got them here. So this is probably where you'd link to split system, ducted, and they should split that out, and that would make them cover more of the topic at hand and potentially even push them up even further. So that's an important content tip there. Who can help you service your air conditioner? Great. This could link to a contact us page or another case studies page. You want to answer this question, but you want to show that you've got a lot of case studies and a lot of reviews. So put that in there that you need someone with high reviews, this, that, and the other. How much does an AC service cost? Look, this is probably not important because it doesn't really relate to the how often you should service your air conditioner. So if they've got this here, it's probably better to delete this because they're never going to rank with that. DIY air conditioner maintenance tips. Also, again, it's not relevant. So it probably has to go. And then they've even got an extra subheading in here, which I think is a waste of time. I wouldn't worry about that. Frequently asked questions and common air conditioner issues. Now, they've got some questions here. However, they're just unrelated. A lot of these can actually have their own article. Why is my air conditioner cooling but not heating? Or you can answer this on your air conditioning repair page, potentially. It's probably not important here. They've just put frequently asked questions just to fill out the page. However, you might want to answer a question about installation here because, again, people who are searching for how often to service your air conditioner or when should you service your air conditioner, they are, I guess, foreshadowing that they might get an air conditioner in the future and they want to know about the installation. So there could be something about that here that kind of relates to the service and whatnot, and maybe the warranty and how that, I guess, relates to the servicing history. You get the drift, right? So it's all related. And then they've got a filter cleaning guide. So it's interesting that they've chosen here to link to their filter cleaning guide, but everything else they didn't. And then a conclusion linking back to something important, some contact us page, and put a number there. So that is how I would do it on this page. But that links to the other pages. That's fine. Now we need to go to the other pages here and do the same thing. So we need to go to split system, Traralgon, and we need a link somewhere in here to when to service, like in one of these things, right? For year-round comfort, and then you need to write like something about servicing, okay? So we've got to go in there, talk about the benefits, and that, right, servicing once a year or once every 2 years ensures that it, I guess, stays efficient and all that. So there are a bunch of different areas you can put it. You can put it in here. They probably don't have the most optimized thing, but they're still sitting on page 2 and 3 for extremely well searched query, and they're doing this. So there's definitely room to grow here. I wouldn't be worrying about commercial, but I would be linking to these. So this is a great page here. Residential air conditioning service. Where can we actually add a link here? Let's look. Benefits. There we go. Benefits of regular AC maintenance. So this probably has its own page. Benefits of a regular AC maintenance. I believe you should put this on this page. In maybe a card layout where you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and there's just the benefits, and then you can potentially link to this as well. So it talks about the benefits of regular servicing, and then there can be a line here. If you would like to know about when to service your air conditioner, check this out, this guide, something like that, right? Let's see their articles. Yeah, they're doing some articles here. So we want to link back and forth from these articles. We can go in and look at installation tips, best air conditioner. I'm just trying to see now where actually from another article, could we link to the when to service your air conditioner article? Is it right for you? Beautiful. This is a great thing to do because we're going to key facts. And then in one of the key facts, we can also add in how often do you need it to be serviced? Because an evaporative cooler might not need to be serviced as much as a split system, vice versa. So it's important to have here how often should we service it? So yeah, definitely you can find something in here. You could probably put a point in here that says once or twice a year, or following your warranty if you just installed it. So there you go, guys. That is what you need to be doing in order to get from page 2 and 3 to page 1. It's a very simple thing. Go through your whole site, all your articles, and see where you can find those links between things. How does installation link to service? How does repair link to service? And find out where you can add in all the little parts that help the Google crawler navigate around your site, increase the engagement overall on your site to push you up the rankings. All right, that's it. That's the whole method for any service business owner out there that's stuck. This will help point your site in the right direction without forking out huge money. This is why I always start here when there's no budget to play with. If a page is already close, it doesn't need a rebuild. It usually just needs a bit of help. And the nice thing with this stuff is you don't have to guess. You can see which pages are close, you can see which ones have traffic, and you're not throwing time at random changes. You're looking specifically for pages already ranking. If you've got articles sitting on page 2, do this before you touch anything else. It's quick and low effort, and all SEO pros know about it, and it often does more than people expect. If you want, drop a comment and tell me what kind of site you're working on, and I'll tell you where I'd look first. If you enjoyed the video, you'll certainly love this one as well. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.